Welcome to Finance Magnates Executive Interviews once more. Thank you for joining us today. We have Khalil from Tickmill with us today. Thank you, Johnny, for joining us.
Pleasure is mine.
We're at wonderful Finance Magnates London Summit 2024, 13th year edition. How are you finding it this year?
I'm loving it. So I'm basically coming here almost every year.
For how long?
For the last 4 years now.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm obviously in Cyprus, so you guys do very nice events there as well. So we have everyone coming in. But I usually take this event as my main purpose to come to London every year. So I use it as my excuse to be here to meet up with all the partners that we have in London.
Especially since it's at the end of the year, so it kind of allows for like a wrap up, right? Check
100%.
Balances of the full year. And this
100%.
year has been quite eventful.
Definitely.
There has been a lot of uncertainty in the markets.
100%, and basically that's why I'm finding it very exciting. So I've been here for the last 2 days. Started from the welcome party here, had a good time, and I can see the happiness, if you want, a little bit within a lot of the participants that are here. So this year has been quite volatile. I'm pretty sure it affected us as retail brokers positively the same way it did with a lot of the providers that are here giving their services. So it's definitely been a great year. I'd say for Tickmill we had one of the best years we've had so far. We're flirting around all-time highs in terms of most of the metrics that we follow. That's clients' deposits, clients' equity with us, shareholders' equity is have hit 9 figures this year. So we're doing quite well. We're enjoying the volatility. For me personally, it's quite unfortunate that volatility comes on the back of usually negative events. So it's usually political uncertainties, war, economic uncertainties. However, I mean, we need to be positioned in the way to be able to take advantage of this whole thing. And this is the industry we're in. So
it's a bittersweet kind of
100%,
situation, isn't
100%.
it? Yeah. I mean, with all the uncertainty that has happened, what am I going to say? I mean, as Finance Magnates, it's our mission to bring certainty to the uncertain, right? Which is why we like to do these gatherings and the journalistic news that we do, all of the data that we gather to help every single actor in this industry like you, right? To make the right decision. So going forward, what are the strategies that Tickmill is involved in these days, especially related to price offerings, etc.? Because we do see in events like this one, there is more and more players coming into the market and it just keeps expanding. So how are you differentiating yourselves from everybody else?
Yeah, Tickmill have historically taken the route of being a low-cost broker. And we've seen this increase within the market. I would say we were pioneers in this with a few handful of companies as well, but we've seen it expand quite a lot. Let me just tell you a bit like what were the strategies for this year, what we have implemented, and I'll push that on top of this to tell you what's the plan for the future as well. So this year, as we said, volatility brought in a lot of profits. It's been a very good year on all metrics, but apart from the volatility part of things, Tickmill did really well. We had so much on our plate basically. So we introduced so many projects and we delivered them. I'd like to mention a few of them. For example, we finally have our Tickmill Trader, which is our own proprietary trading platform. That's something that's been brewing in the background for quite a while, and we're happy to say that it's finally live, and clients are loving it so far. Speaking about trading conditions and being a low-cost broker, we basically reduced the cost on 2 of our most traded products, which are gold and Bitcoin. So we slashed the pricing on this. We slashed the cost on these 2 products, which have driven the volume through the roof, basically. And we also reduced the margin requirements for that. So we're allowing traders to access these products more and with a lower cost, which basically creates a effect, like it basically feeds itself. So traders will trade these products more. We'll be able to give them more competitive pricing, which allows them to trade even further more, and which allows us to send more volume to our liquidity providers, and in return reduces pricing even further. So
is this pricing that you're referring to the spreads?
The spreads, commissions, and overnight financing. So we focus on the whole overall price for the whole product, not just the spread. The spread, everyone can offer, let's say, 0 spreads. However, we take this one step further and also reduce our commission and reduce our overnight financing fee. For the client to open a position, no matter what product it is very highly likely that Tickmill will be the best broker out there to serve them when it comes to the low cost.
So this is where there is the edge and what allows you to give a better competitive spreads and better pricing, etc. The fact that you reduce your cost, etc. that you mentioned.
That's one thing. There are definitely, I mean, again, one of the main reasons I fly in from Cyprus is to London. Basically, most of our liquidity providers and technology providers are FCA regulated and based here. So for us to be able to get the good liquidity to begin with, we need to have open, transparent, and good relationships with the liquidity providers, which most of them are here in the expo, and we have our meetups outside and inside the expo. So for me, nothing beats like face-to-face conversation, a firm handshake, and be able to have these discussions with these LPs, tell them what we want, what our clients want, and be very transparent on what we can offer and what they can offer us back. So we create these custom liquidity pools and give it to our clients. The interesting part here, I've been in this industry for almost 12 years. I'm not that young, but I've been for 12 years, and I've thought that it's actually a lot of time, but it's a humbling experience to be sitting with a lot of these veterans here that have decades and decades of experience on their shoulders. And the stuff I learned, like to keep an open mind and learn from their experiences, is quite amazing. So for me, that's a great thing. That's one of the main reasons for me to be enjoying these expos, because it puts all these veterans in one place, allows you to network with them and learn from their experience from the past. So that's one thing, the liquidity providers. The second thing would be the technology providers. So you can have the best liquidity in the world, and if you don't have a technology that will allow you to route this liquidity, to aggregate it, to work with it in a low latency environment, then it doesn't make sense. Like, you can't do anything with that liquidity. So we make sure to have very solid relationships with the top technology providers in the market, and at the same time, I'm here looking around to see what's the innovation, what's happening in this tech space, in the fintech space, to be able to keep Tickmill on top of every innovation that's happening, so that we don't fall behind in any way. We've always been pioneers when it comes to the technology and providing the fastest, best pricing and execution. And we would like to know what's happening in the market, and this is the best place to be in order to get all this knowledge in one place.
Thank you. We appreciate that. It's literally the reason for our existence. So what do you plan for 2025? Now let's doing a wrap of the year. What's coming up?
Yes. So we've done a lot in 2024, and there's a lot in the pipeline for 2025. There are a few things that I'm not going to be able to mention for sure.
However, we will get the exclusive though.
I can promise I can give you an exclusive when we're closer to launching on some of these projects. But there are very exciting projects that are in the pipeline. We are working, if we want to keep it a bit general, like speaking, because the theme of this was also about our low cost and how we're providing and our client-centric. So we can promise our clients that we're going to be giving them some good surprises, if you want, when it comes to low costs. We've already been, let me tell you one thing. I know we're wrapping up, but there's one interesting thing that very little people know, and this could be an exclusive because very little people know about it.
Exclusive alert.
So one reason Tickmill is able to maintain the low cost all these years, there are various reasons. We mentioned liquidity providers. However, one very interesting thing is that we are a very data dependent company, and we value data a lot. We value artificial intelligence a lot. And we were one of the first companies, if not the first, in the retail space that have created a quantitative team. Like, we have a quant team, we have a data analytics team, and these were built almost 7 years ago, before this whole AI hype became a thing recently. So with that being said, we do create models, and we do machine learning on the way that clients behave and the way the pricing is being sent to us by the LPs. And we create what I would like to call smart pricing. This smart pricing allows us to give very low cost, again, spreads, commission, and swaps, while at the same time not hurting the bottom line profitability of the company. So while anyone can reduce their cost, usually they fall, and we've seen it a lot in the industry, they end up folding after a few months, maybe a year or so, because the profitability gets a hit. In our case, we're using this technology, we're using AI, we're using machine learning in order to be able to give pricing that's super competitive, and it's a win-win for us and for the clients, because the company is going to keep on making the same amount of profits. The clients are going to be saving up on the cost and be trading more, which is going to by default increase the profits for the company again, and which allows us to keep on continue growing over and over without changing our structure or without having to increase the cost in the future. So I hope this kind of gives something. I mean, obviously there's not too much secrets we can let out, but that's something I can see other players in the industry that are starting to work on in the last 2-3 years, which is great. It was our edge. However, we're happy to see others do it, but let's see who's gonna win in this whole pricing competition in there.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Johnny, thanks for joining me in the interview today.
It's my pleasure.
I hope everybody learned something new. Thanks for the exclusive, and see
Thank
you
you
soon.
very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you.